Dear learners, I welcome you all to the higher module on institutional management for entrepreneurship. Our focus will be on Unit 2, entrepreneurial ecosystem and business incubation. This is part 3 of the video series entitled Business Incubation. Learners, the content of the presentation are an introduction to business incubation, what are business incubators, and various schemes for applying for business incubator. Now, what is business incubation? According to National Business Incubation Association, also known as NBIA, they define incubation as a mechanism to support entrepreneurs with the provision of resources and services that helps in creating new ventures. Business incubation plays a vital role to encourage entrepreneurship and innovation and has gained tremendous recognition in our country. Business incubators are the organizations which provide a favorable environment and related support services to the startups. The National Business Incubator Associations defines the business incubators as business support process that accelerates the successful development of startups and fledgling companies by providing entrepreneurs with an array of targeted resources and services. Now, different types of business incubators they can be divided based upon whether they are for-profit incubators, not-for-profit incubators, university-based incubators, incubators supported by government or some public enterprise, privately owned incubators and corporate incubators. Then we also have technology based incubators, mixed incubators. Mixed incubators means there are mixed type of tenants of different types of business sectors. Apart from this, business incubators may further be different with respect to their type of structures, policies adopted, the tenants, the management as well as the funding facilities. Now, the elements of business incubator are business incubators provides a number of facilities. Some of these facilities are offering workspaces, public utilities, sharing of facilities like computer systems, photocopying machines, telephones, internet access, secretarial services, meeting and conference rooms and furniture, providing support services in the form of preparing the projects reports, training, legal support, support in the form of machinery and equipment, for supporting the accounting services where they require services for related to accounts. Then also they provide services for intellectual property rights protection, technical support for the marketing and market information. Then they also provide networking and making linkages of tenants with various sources of finances including venture capital firms, banks, angel investors and other financial institutions. Now, let us understand the significance of business incubators. The incubators help to boost the innovation, research and development and entrepreneurial ecosystem of the country. An incubator is an important resource of the community to help the entrepreneurs have a good idea to start their activities independently. As shown by statistics, around 90% of startups fail in their initial stages due to lack of support systems. Learners, you are aware that when a person starts a new business or a new enterprises, it is during the initial period only that most of these startups or enterprises fail. That means it is clear that during the starting period, which is in other words is also known as the incubation, it is during the starting period that they require some type of support. Now, this is the function, main importance or main significance of business incubators, that they do the hand holding and they save the enterprise or that particular startup for failing and they provide different types of supports. The incubators and accelerators can help in sustaining these startups. They help these startups to sustain, to grow and to flourish. So, it is during the initial stages of a new enterprise then the entrepreneur have to face a number of unknowns and number of challenges which sometimes lead to their failure. and due to limited experience, entrepreneur have to undergo various challenges while trying to convert his idea into a concept or reality. So, the incubators can fill this void or can fill this challenge by providing the required support at the right time. Now, though the major goal of incubator is to produce successful entrepreneurs who are able to create financially sustainable and independent ventures, at the end of the program, many incubators today are committed promoters of entrepreneurship and new firm formation at the smaller level in the economy. They help to extend their services for creating awareness about entrepreneurship and innovation through various educational programs like seminars and training programs. They also help in mobilizing resources and support services for new ventures and create network of various support agencies. They make alliances with policymakers and regulators and also helps in making connection with potential capital and service providers. Now, dear learners, let us understand what we understand by university based business incubators. University or academic environment and other research related institutions have been considered as the main contributors for not for profit business incubators. In our country, the higher educational institutions are hosting most of the incubators where the funding is provided by the government. Higher educational institution based business incubators are regarded as special type of business incubators which are located within the university or the academic campus. That means that if you have a business incubator in your university or an academic institution, that will be known as a university based business incubator. Now, these university based business incubators have become popular since these help the entrepreneurs to tap the talent and resources located within the university or the institute and take benefit from them. That means there we have a dual advantage. The entrepreneurs or potential students who aim to bring out their idea and want to convert it into a project or want to convert into a prototype or a product, then they can take help from these university based incubators. It has been found that the firms located in these higher educational institutes based business incubators, they face lesser risk of failure. According to a report, the top 10 most offered incubator services are, the topmost is the help with business basics, that is 96% take the help with business basic. Second, on the second number, it is the conference room, utility rooms. Then they take the services of marketing assistance, followed by shared administrative services which account for 88%, networking activities, followed by accounting and financial management which accounts for 77% of the services, along with help with access to commercial loan. Next service taken is links to higher educational institutions, then followed by telephone systems or phone answering machines, and lastly the use of internet access. So, these are the top 10 services which are being offered by the incubators and which are being taken by the tenants. Now, dear learners, let us see what are the various schemes for applying for business incubator. That means, if you wish to establish a business incubator, what are the various government schemes available? The first one is National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, which is by the Government of India, also known as NSTEDB. It is an institutional mechanism constituted by the Government of India under the Department of Science and Technology, also known as DST, in the year 1982 to promote knowledge driven and technology intensive startups. NSTEDB is acting as a policy advisor body to promote technology entrepreneurship in the country. It is an agency to network academic institutions, R&D organizations, startup incubators, co-work spaces and industrial parks to foster entrepreneurship among the students, faculty and the innovators using science and technology for self-employment with special emphasis on backward areas. Another scheme offered by the Government of India is known as Atal Innovation Mission or AIM. Atal Innovation Mission is another flagship initiative of Government of India constituted under the Niti Aayog to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship across the country. AIM's objective is to develop new programs and policies for fostering innovation in different sectors of the society, providing platforms and collaboration opportunities for different stakeholders to create the right ecosystem for developing and promoting startups in the country. They have programs like Atal Tinkering Labs for schools, new Atal Incubation Centers, supporting by funding existing AICs and NSTED incubators, Atal New India Challenge, Mentor India, Atal Community Innovation Centers and Atmanirbhar Arise, etc. Another scheme is provided by Department of Biotechnology. Department of Biotechnology has an incubation scheme to support startups in biotechnology sector. The incubators are called BioNests. The grant support to these incubators is need based and is not limited to an initial grant teenage support. Another department offering this scheme is Department of Agriculture. Government of India, Department of Agriculture has a very extensive scheme for incubator mechanism called Agri-Business Incubators. Agri-business incubators are situated in most of the agriculture universities and national research laboratories in the country with grant in aid and seed support from the department. Now we also have Department of Electronics and Information Technology. Government of India, Department of Electronics and IT, also known as METI, have an incubator called as Maker Village for hardware startups. The startups in Maker Villages are supporting the Government of India's Make in India program to a great extent by producing machines, tools and devices that had been imported to India till recently. Now dear learners, there is a proper process for applying for these schemes. Now the application process, for example for NSTED, AIM and other departments, they invite applications for starting incubators in different sectors in various institutions through digital and social media every year. The application forms can be downloaded from their website. The criteria and rules and regulations for giving approval are given in the related websites. To understand this process of applying for a grant and how to get this grant, let us understand this with the help of this flow diagram. This flow diagram has been adapted from the DST side. So learners, if you wish to apply for a grant which is known as Nidhi TBI grant, which is under Department of Science and Technology, we have to first of all, the first step involved in this, first of all you will have to check the eligibility criteria for applying for the Nidhi TBI grant. Now all these details are available on the DST site. So you first check whether your institute is eligible for applying for this grant. If this first step has been fulfilled, then you go to the next step. As written here, the next step is identification of thrust area. Now in this area, in this grant, a number of thrust areas have been listed. So you will check in which area you wish to apply for a grant, whether it is biotechnology, whether it is related to electronics or whatever the thrust areas are there, you will have to choose your own thrust area. Once you have chosen the thrust area, next is the major part of this preparation of the project proposal. So learners, you have to give maximum time for the preparation of project proposal. You have to write it according to the application form available and you have to give all the details which are required for the project proposal. After that, the application of your project has to be forwarded by the host of the institute. Once the application has been forwarded, this will be submitted to the DST. This can be submitted online if online system is there, or the hard copy. So, once the proposal has been prepared, next through the host of the institute you forward this project proposal to the DST. So, till now we have submitted the proposal to the DST. Once the proposal has been received, the proposal will be received by DST. Now they will start the initial screening. Initial screening means now they will check whether all the documents have been submitted or not. If something is missing, they will ask you for that particular document. Next, this proposal is now sent to the evaluation committee. The National Expert Advisory Committee will now evaluate your project proposal and check the proposal, and if they are satisfied with your proposal, if it is okay with them, then you will be given a sanction letter representing that your fund will be released to you and you have successfully got the fund for the particular TBI which you have applied. Now, after that they will ask you to register your company in e-Lekha software, followed by formation of TBI as a legal not for profit entity. You will have to register your TBI as not for profit entity. Once you complete these formalities, then you will submit the documentation as required by the NEAC and you will confirm that yes, we have registered our TBI. That means now you have successfully finished the process and now you can implement your project for which you have provided the proposal. So, implementation of the project will begin from here. After that, you will also have to submit an annual report every year regarding the progress of your project. So, dear learners, this is one method, or this is the flow chart representing the flow or how you have to apply for a grant. Similar type of procedure is used for other grants also. For more details, kindly refer to the e-content of this unit. Thank you.